Hey Peaches, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your weekly pick a card reading as it pertains to work and career and money and creativity and all that good stuff. I am using the Art Oracles and the Chrysalis Tarot, and then at the end of each one I am doing a pick a card with the butterfly affirmators. So stack 1 is the deer, stack 2 is the fish, stack 3 is the badger. They're timestamped below. Go ahead and like if you hear something that helps you today, share if you hear something that you feel like will help someone else, and subscribe if you'd like to keep up with me every Saturday. If you like a private reading all to yourself with only your energy involved, like this is for a lot of people, then my Etsy page is linked below and you can choose the cards that you want and choose how many as you want and build a reading all to yourself. So let's get started. Okay, so if you chose stack 1 or chose the deer, your artist this week is Da Vinci. It says, I'm not a Renaissance man, I'm a Renaissance man. Dissect what makes us human. Look into research like you would a crystal ball. Okay, so you have the 4 of Stones, Herne the Hunter, the Chariot, and the 5 of Stones. Am I fitting into the screen? I am. Okay. So normally with the Chariot, it's talking about your energies aligning followed by a triumphant forward motion. But your forward motion comes, your alignment comes when you remove some impound boots from your wheels, it seems like. Like these two have been kind of like holding you in place. So it's like over attachment to something material and attachment to fitting in. This 4 of Stones and 5 of Stones indicates a fear that if you give an inch, the universe will take a mile. So from this idea of going from either getting the best paying project or homelessness. It's like if I don't get this all or nothing thinking, I'm feeling like it's not that close. I feel like there's an entire world in between that you are going to be able to boldly move through. It is going to take inventiveness, creativity, and understanding of the inner workings of your spending, how your household operates. It's like a change in pursuit from the most quantity or the purest quality to the game of a different sort, of the most efficient. It's like choosing instead of one goal or another, but like a third option, a different type of goal. Excitement for a different game. And that's where this Da Vinci energy comes in. It's like this fusion of necessity and beauty in this process. And I feel like the results are beneficial in 2 ways. I feel like, one, you are going to feel relieved by having a game plan. Like it helps you with that worst case scenario, anything. That feeling that you're adaptable and ready for anything. And 2, this Chariot is leading you out of a place where you needed to get out of for a long time. So there is healing here that wasn't able to happen before while you were kind of holding on to the side of the pool or holding on to the specific vision of getting the best or getting the most or getting the highest paying thing, and anything less than that is total failure. And it doesn't mean that you won't succeed in that certain way. It just means that the fear of anything changing that has been holding you back is being released, is being lifted. And so this change of mindset from fear of worst case to the thirst to win the game on every setting, that's what I'm feeling like. It's like, I've worked the hardest and gotten to this, and then I've been through this type of hell, and it's like, now I'm going to try to win the game on this medium setting and see, it's like rounding you out and making you more adaptable and more able to face different types of challenges, not different levels of the same type of challenge, but different types of challenges, if that makes any sense. And it's going to help you get unstuck. That's what I'm seeing in your tarot. So let's get you 3 butterfly affirmations. Go ahead and set your intention for whether you feel like card 1, 2, or 3. We'll have your message. And let me tune in. Okay, card 1. Uh-oh. There's your butterfly. It says, I like to take care of myself with love through rest, play, and movement and positive thinking. That chariot is movement and positive thinking. There's your butterfly for card 2. I dare to dream of wonderful things happening in my life. So that's, to me, talking about, there's this idea of worst case scenario, and if it doesn't work out in a certain way, then it will only be that way. But there's another way. There's like a whole other option. There's a way that your life can be awesome by not getting that certain way, if that makes any sense. You'll like discover a whole new capability or a whole new way of living, a whole new way of operating and moving forward that doesn't involve actually working as hard as you were. So there's card 3. Life doesn't have to be perfect in order for me to choose happiness. Yes, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be only this way. You can choose happiness at any level, at any scenario. Today, I choose happiness. All right, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will talk to you next Saturday. Thank you. Okay, those of you who chose stack 2 or chose the fish, your artist this week is Salvador Dali. It says, never make an appearance without controversy. Tap the unconscious and pray it isn't boring. Being Dali is inspiration enough. All right, you have the 9 of Stones. The Corsair, Knight of Spirals, that's like the Knight of Wands. And the Muse, Queen of Spiral, the Queen of Wands. Spirals, I meant. Okay. All right. So this does feel very adventure seeking. So like, that's what this guy is. He's the adventure seeker, and she's kind of going off at something too, which is unusual. It's like, this looks very much like the traditional 8 of Cups, doesn't it? But it's the 9 of Pentacles in this deck. So, or no, 9 of Pentacles. But it is adventure seeking, freedom loving, wishing to experience something new. And you do have all of the confidence and the protection and the enthusiasm, all the support from the universe that you'll need to do that. But with this Dali energy and this 9 of Stones, there's a sense of being called forth into uncharted territory. And the reason it's uncharted, it's not like 2 of Wands where you're charting it. It's uncharted because it's constantly changing. It can't be charted. It's perpetually in flux, and nothing's what it seems. And without a constant, it could get disorienting. And so I feel like the advice here is to build a strong material framework, a solid base that you can return to, because you might need to reorient and get your bearings wherever it is that you're going. It's territory where you may not be able to trust others to be consistent or trustworthy, and you're going to have to stay grounded on your own 2 feet and not lean on anyone else. There's a potential they could let you down. So it's not like backpacking through the mountains. It's more like RVing through the mountains, carrying your home with you, carrying something stable and something you can count on with you as things get a little iffy out there, you have a tether. It's like you're going to have to, it's very independent energy. So it's like having your own personal tether, and you're going to have your own back, and you're going to have your own resources, and not getting into that position where you don't need anything or anyone. And this is a weekly reading, so it's not like, forever, but this should help you get through this week and the way it's going to look this week. So stay in your integrity, protect your assets, don't take on extra responsibilities or dependence, and that kind of like frees you up to explore what could be very interesting and enlightening, but potentially disorienting if you don't have that solid touchstone, kind of. Set your intention for whether you feel like card 1, 2, or 3. We'll have a message for you. Whoa, that was terrible. One more time. That's embarrassing. That's better. All right, let me tune in. All right, card 1. There's your butterfly. It says, I am strong enough to face every issue in my life with courage and trust. Yeah, the Knight and the Queen of Wands. That's courage and trust right there. Card 2, that's your butterfly, and it says, I don't need to control life. I trust in magic and miracles. And I feel like that you trust in yourself as well. You don't need to control life because you have self-control and mastery over yourself. Card 3 looks like that, and it says, I listen to the intuitive wisdom of my own feelings. I am guided from within. That'll help you when the external world looks a little bit like that. All right. Okay, guys, like, share, and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will talk to you next Saturday. Thank you. Okay, those of you who chose stack 3 or chose the Badger, your artist this week is Wasily Kandinsky. Transcend systems to find spirit, hear music through sight, and begin with a dot. Okay, and you have the Mime, the Page of Spirals. I'm liking the visual synchronicity of the kind of squares of the outfit and the way that's kind of mirrored right there and that visual synchronicity. Justice. And the 8 of Stones. So the Page of Spirals with the 8 of Stones. Practice, practice, practice. That's really what I'm getting with that. With Justice, there's a right and there is a wrong answer. This is very letter, not spirit of the law. So there is a right or wrong answer. And there's a sort of mock trial-like energy. So Justice is very legal, but it doesn't have to be necessarily the laws of man, although a lot of the times it is. Depicted by the scales of justice. So it can be the laws of man, but it's also the laws of nature, the laws of science, the laws of physics, the laws of math. It doesn't respond well to opinion, as they say. So it's like a mock trial, or there's like, it's a simulation for something really important, like those driver simulations when you're learning to drive, or practicing CPR on a dummy, or, practicing surgery on a, like they do in medical school. I'm getting that because a mime goes through the motions without actually interacting or, interacting with matter always. This Kandinsky energy feels very defining, like categorizing and making delineations. Organized chaos, essentially. It feels like you're creating a unique brand of order. Like on the messy desk, it looks like chaos, but you know exactly where everything is, right? So overall, there's a sense of getting yourself together and finding balance amidst chaos. And so you're doing so by single-mindedly focusing on a goal, focusing on something that you're trying to learn to create. With this page, I don't feel like it's doing the work just yet, but learning all the pieces, learning all the parts, and getting your ideas together, getting your inspirations together. It's going to be important not to get distracted, I feel like you have to be able to trust that everything is right with the world at this time. You aren't going to be able to affect it. Things are going to be balanced according to the law of nature, according to karma. It's having to trust that the universe is taking care of its own balance. And you just need to plan and figure out how you're going to move with this new energy, because it does feel like there is change. And how are you going to set up your new chapter? Okay. So that's what I'm getting from your tarot. Go ahead and set your intention for whether you feel like card 1, 2, or 3 from the Butterfly Affirmations will have a message for you, or all 3 if that's what you feel. Let me tune in. Okay, card 1. Ooh. No, card 1. Looks like that. It says, I make a positive difference in the world, even with my smile and words. All right, card 2. That's your butterfly. And it says, it is safe for me to explore unknown worlds and try new things. Yes. Card 3. Life doesn't have to be perfect in order for me to choose happiness. Today, I choose happiness. All right, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you next Saturday. Thank you.